well known that PKI provides handy and trusted mechanisms to solve a whole range of security-related tasks. For example, you can use PKI-enabled software to encrypt hard drives, files, emails, documents. You can digitally sign emails, banking transactions, documents in various document vault systems. You can also log into an operating system, into enterprise applications, and so on. And the key problem with the practical rollout of PKI is to strike a balance between security and usability when dealing with users' private key storage and isolation of cryptographic operations. There are not so many widely used options, and the first one is obviously physical smart cards. This option works best when your client device is desktop or a laptop having a USB port to connect a smart card video to, and running an operating system that supports easy smart card integration into applications. Physical smart cards are in the top tier in terms of security, since private key security is hardware-based, and the user keeps their private keys with them all the time. All cryptographic operations are isolated and performed inside the smart card chip, obviously. Also, the use of physical smart cards is essentially the only way to combine logical access, physical access, and visual identification in a single device. We support a number of popular smart cards, our system I mean, and we also can support any smart card via smart cards vendors middleware in a week or so. Besides that, indeed, CM can work with smart cards via CryptoVision's C interface. It is universal, kind of universal middleware developed by CryptoVision, the German software vendor. And that universal middleware supports over 90 different kinds of smart cards, so it's definitely a way to go if you have far from different smart card types in your organization. Bearing in mind the properties of traditional smart cards and building on your own experience, you understand that there are many scenarios when you'll have to look for alternative solutions for private key storage. For example, when you need to use a smartphone or tablet as your client and phone device, and it doesn't have the interface to connect a smart card reader to. Moreover, we should consider that the use of physical cards entails certain costs. For instance, to buy the cards and readers, to replace them on a regular basis, to deliver smart cards to distant offices, and issue temporary cards when users leave their original cards at home. So let's turn to alternative solutions that can help avoid these limitations of physical smart cards in one way or another. As all of you know for sure, starting with Windows 8, Microsoft has been providing its users with a virtual smart card. It behaves just like a physical card, but at the same time it's a software-based emulation of a smart card with the keys stored in the TPM. The TPM is a separate chip integrated into the motherboard that can generate key pairs, can store private keys, and can perform cryptographic operations. So basically that means that you already have all the hardware you need embedded into the motherboard of your computer. By designing, the TPM guarantees that when working with the virtual smart cards, the key cannot be exported and the cryptographic operations are executed in an isolated environment, just as it is in case of physical smart cards. Since the TPM is integrated into the motherboard, it's apparent that you cannot extract a virtual smart card for standard management operations such as certificate issue, for example. Therefore, we need remote service mechanisms that will allow for centralized management. This is what the client agent of IndiCM is intended for. In addition to providing means for remote centralized virtual and physical smart card management, it does a number of other interesting things that we will discuss a little bit later. Well, one of the disadvantages of TPM-based virtual smart cards versus physical smart cards is that you won't have to purchase any cards and readers. And at the same time, most scenarios will work just as efficiently and securely as with physical smart cards. Moreover, a TPM is quite difficult to lose, so the support staff won't have to resolve issues of smart cards being lost or left behind, which drives considerable savings. As you can easily guess, there are certain scenarios when virtual smart cards with the key stored in the TPM are not suitable either. For example, when users frequently change between workstations while all the keys remain in the TPM of the computer where this smart card, the virtual smart card, was originally enrolled. The solution we propose is our Indeed key network attached smart card. All the cryptographic operations are done on the server side. Private keys are stored in the HSM and never leave the system server. On the client side, the operating system treats the network attached smart card as a regular smart card that supports all the standard access interfaces. I mean, you can use PKI, PKI 11 as you do with the physical smart cards. All the calls from the operating system and applications are transparently forwarded to Indeed server, and the caller receives the result of the operation. So Indeed key provides the same outcome as the TPM-based virtual smart card, but it also allows to drop the requirement that each smart card can be used with a single computer only. Another option for private storage with Indeed key solution is user's mobile device. For this scenario, the ERP server includes a module responsible for registration and interactions with the user's smartphone. We developed a mobile application that implements this smart card logic. I mean, it can generate key pair, it can store private key, and perform cryptographic operations. The private key never leaves the application's sandbox. So that basically two different scenarios. One is HSM as backend, and one is mobile application as backend. And the application individually stores private keys for every individual user. The workflow in this case will be the following. The ERP server forwards the client query to the user's registered mobile device. The application performs a digital signature, and the result is returned to client via the ERP server. Along with the physical smart card emulation in the operating system, the Indeed ERP technology also supports direct SDK integration with applications. This way you can get PKI support without the need to connect a physical smart card in mobile applications or in web applications, for example. All these options for smart card technologies and private storage can coexist efficiently within a single installation of Indeed Certificate Manager and be applied selectively depending on the staff needs, endpoint devices, and budget restrictions. Users can migrate smoothly from one smart card technology to another, and all the processes will remain harmonized and unified, while the system will be managed based on the same set of policies through the same administrator and the user interfaces. Let's take a closer look at the DCM agent that I have mentioned when we were talking about remote virtual smart card management. Actually, having an active agent is not a hard requirement for any smart card management system, and for the DCM in particular. The system will be able to perform most of its functions without the agent. However, if you install the agent, it will achieve a totally different level of interactive and flexible PKI management. For instance, the agent collects and logs data about smart card connections, to which endpoints and when they were connected. If any of the smart cards connected were directly to the system, the agent can also raise an alert. If you want certain smart cards to be valid only with specific endpoints, or only for users logged into specific Active Directory accounts, you can easily make relevant settings in DCM policies. In case of constraint violation, the agent can lock the user's local session and block the corresponding smart card depending on the settings. System administrators can define operations that are performed automatically when an agent detects that a specific smart card has been connected to a computer. For instance, the agent will be able to initiate a certificate update without waiting for user's intervention, or change administrator's PIN code, or block a smart card in case of emergency. When the user base is large enough, there is another way to cut PKI maintenance costs. We can delegate certain operations to the users without compromising the level of the security of the system as a whole. In DCM offers an advanced self-service implemented as a web application. It allows users to issue and revoke certificates, change PINs, suspend certificates, and so on. Moreover, users can unblock a smart card before logging into an operating system using a component implemented as the Windows credential provider. The exact set of self-service operations available is defined by the administrator in the system policies. Well, I've mentioned system policies several times already, so let's go into more details on this topic. The overall management of the system is based on the policies mechanism. Each policy applies to a certain scope of users and can be controlled either by global administrators and operators or by local ones, with the rights to manage the allocated user scope only. Okay. Policies make it possible to manage the system on the level of organizational units and groups instead of micromanaging every individual user. This saves time for administrators and operators and facilitates detection of policy rule violations, making it easier to scale the PKI in future. As a technology, PKI provides handy trusted mechanisms, as I said before, for data encryption, digital signature, strong authentication, and so on. However, many companies are wary of the challenges of PKI deployment and maintenance and see them as a major barrier. We develop software and provide support to help overcome or mitigate the majority of problems associated with PKI rollout and operation. For that, we use the technologies described above, a range of smart card technology options. You can use physical smart cards, TPM-based virtual smart cards. You can use network-attached NDDRP smart card, or any other options that can be used to store private keys. The second technology is collection of detailed information on smart card usage and remote smart card management for physical and for virtual smart cards, which is based on DCM agent. Advanced self-service for users, centralized policy-based setup and management, clean and powerful web-based user interface. Well, this is all I was planning to tell you today. Thank you so much for your attention. Feel free to come to our booth, to our table, to ask any questions about our products or schedule live demo. You can also write to my email address or to Indeed Identity's inbox. Thank you very much.